What if the real battle for the South China Sea isn't fought with ships or missiles, but with laws, words, and influence? The Philippines is at the heart of a powerful confrontation, not through conflict, but through what experts call lawfare. This modern competition unfolds in courtrooms, press briefings, and international forums, where every statement matters. As China asserts its maritime claims, a question looms. Can truth and international law withstand political pressure? And what role will the Philippines play in defending that truth? This isn't just a legal issue, it's a defining moment for justice in the Indo-Pacific. To grasp this clash, we must revisit the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. It's the rulebook for governing the world's oceans, outlining maritime rights and boundaries. When the Philippines challenged China's 9-dash line in 2013, it was an appeal to international order, not defiance. In 2016, an arbitral tribunal ruled in favor of the Philippines, declaring China's claims inconsistent with UNCLOS. But instead of accepting the ruling, Beijing dismissed it as invalid, claiming it never consented to arbitration. This idea that consent is needed to enforce arbitration became central to China's legal narrative. The Philippines stood firm, not through aggression, but with clarity. Under UNCLOS, nations agree to resolve maritime disputes peacefully through arbitration. China's refusal to engage doesn't undermine the tribunal's authority. Articles 286 and 287 of UNCLOS allow arbitration to proceed without one party's cooperation. By ratifying UNCLOS in 1996, China accepted these rules, making the 2016 ruling binding. For the Philippines, this was never about power. It was about principle. It proved that even small nations can stand tall under international law. Today, the legal battle extends beyond courtrooms into global perception. Chinese commentators claim the ruling was invalid without China's consent. These statements aim to shape global opinion and sow doubt. Legal experts in the Philippines quickly countered these arguments. They reinforced that arbitration under UNCLOS is compulsory once a dispute arises. What was a clear legal decision turned into a public debate. Misinformation became as dangerous as maritime confrontation. The Philippines was now fighting two battles, one on the water and another in the court of world opinion. While legal debates heated up, a significant signal emerged from the sea. The British frigate, HMS Richmond, made a historic visit to Manila, bringing a message of partnership from the UK's Defense Secretary. Shortly after, the US Navy sent an Ohio-class submarine to Subic Bay, showcasing one of America's most powerful vessels. These visits were not just ordinary port calls. They were strategic demonstrations of solidarity. They served as reminders that freedom of navigation is a shared principle among allies. For the Philippines, this was more than a diplomatic gesture. It was reassurance that allies were watching. It signaled that the rule of law was not forgotten. Each vessel represented a commitment to stability in the Indo-Pacific, with the Philippines at the center of that goal. Military experts viewed these movements as more than symbolic. They were a clear message from the UK and US. The Indo-Pacific is not a space for unilateral dominance, but one defined by partnerships. For London, HMS Richmond's presence marked a renewed engagement in Asia, aligning with its global defense strategy. For Washington, the surfacing of its nuclear submarines during sensitive times sent a strong warning. Deterrence is alive. Beyond just a show of strength, these actions reassured regional allies like the Philippines that international law has powerful supporters. When combined with active diplomacy, these gestures can transform pressure into partnership and isolation into opportunity. Observers are saying we're entering an age of alignment, where countries are banding together based on shared interests. China and Russia are getting closer, forming what some call a Eurasian alignment. Meanwhile, the US, Japan, Australia, and the Philippines are strengthening their ties through alliances. The Philippines, often seen as a smaller player, is now in a crucial position. It's a bridge between continents and key to Indo-Pacific stability. This unique geography gives Manila a leverage that goes beyond its size or military might. In this new geopolitical landscape, influence isn't just about weapons. It's about location, diplomacy, and credibility. And few nations embody this blend as well as the Philippines does today. But even strong partnerships come with their own set of challenges. As allies ramp up military presence, it can be seen as a provocation by others. This leads to the classic security dilemma. One side seeks safety, while the other feels threatened. Experts caution that while deterrence is important, diplomacy must keep pace. Peace can't just rely on warships. It needs a steady flow of dialogue and trust. The Philippines, at the center of this dynamic, must balance assertiveness with wisdom. It's about protecting its interests while ensuring regional stability. In recent years, the Philippines has taken bold steps in defense agreements beyond its traditional allies. Negotiations with the UK for a reciprocal access agreement mark a historic shift for Manila. This expands security partnerships beyond just the Pacific region. Alongside existing agreements with the US, Australia, and Japan, it creates a multi-layered web of cooperation. Each pact not only strengthens defense, but also enhances joint training and technology sharing. For the Philippines, this diversification isn't about militarization, it's about independence. It's about ensuring no single nation can dictate its path forward. In a world where maritime freedom is key to stability, choosing allies freely is a strength. At the core of this journey lies a truth that transcends law and strategy. The Philippines has shown that moral courage can resonate louder than military might. By standing firm on the 2016 ruling and upholding UNCLOS, it has embraced partnerships rooted in respect. This has earned the nation something invaluable: global credibility. It proves that even a nation with modest power can influence the world through integrity and vision. This journey highlights a lasting value. In the face of pressure, the Philippines chose principle. In uncertainty, it chose unity. In the battle for truth, it chose to lead. In doing so, the Philippines has become more than a claimant. It symbolizes how law, diplomacy, and dignity can shape history. The Philippines' stand didn't just echo across Asia. It reshaped global dialogue about justice on the seas. By invoking international law, the Philippines became a beacon for smaller nations facing similar challenges. It showed that you don't need a massive military to make the world listen. Through diplomacy and resilience, they proved the power of unwavering belief in the rule of law. This moment redefined the balance of power in the Indo-Pacific. Allies from Washington to London took notice, recognizing the Philippines as a strategic cornerstone for peace. As the waves continue to move across the South China Sea, one truth remains: the fight for sovereignty is about defending principles. The Philippines defended not just a territory, but the idea that the law should protect all nations equally. That ripple of courage started in Manila, and it's still spreading across the globe. The story of the Philippines in the South China Sea is more than just about territory. It's about principle, persistence, and pride. A small nation stood tall against a global power, armed not with weapons, but with truth and law. And that made all the difference. Today, the waves of the West Philippine Sea carry more than just ships. They carry the spirit of a country that refused to be silenced. The Philippines showed us that true strength isn't just about might, but about the courage to stand firm against the odds. As the world watches, one thing is clear: the silent comeback has already begun. And the next chapter, it's being written not by fear, but by the unyielding Filipino spirit. Resilient and ready for the future. If you believe this story deserves to be heard, like, share, and subscribe for more insights on how the Philippines is shaping its destiny. Because the truth matters, and this comeback is just getting started.